Welcome, welcome, welcome to the film review show with bells and whistles. Now, to celebrate Britain's fantastic haul of gold medals in the Olympic cycling, I've decided to cast my eyes on 10 of the world's finest cycling films. So saddle up, folks, and let's go, go, go! In at 10 is a right old curiosity for fans of Nicole Kidman. On 22nd of December 1983, the former Mrs. Tom Cruise made her feature film debut in BMX Bandits, a pitch about two BMX experts who became embroiled with a group of bank robbers after discovering a carton of walkie-talkies. A truly poor movie by most standards, it nevertheless scores top points for pure cheese. In at 9 is another star-studded 1980s movie, American Flyers. This time round we see Kevin Costner in an emotional movie about two brothers who go cycling across the Rocky Mountains. The hook? Well, one of them is hiding a tragic secret, namely that he's got a cerebral tumour. Whilst never really getting out of the blocks, American Flyers is nevertheless a reasonable stab at a stirring buddy movie. In 8th place is the whimsical Les Bicyclettes de Belsize. Starring the relatively unknown Anthony May and Judy Huxtable, it's a curious British film that lasts only 30 minutes and features almost no spoken dialogue. The plotline involves May cycling around Hampstead and falling in love with a model on a billboard. More remarkable was its soundtrack, which gave crooner Engelbert Humperdinck a number 5 hit song in September 1968. In at 7 is the incredibly charming Jour de Fête, aka The Big Day. A 1949 comedy from French director Jacques Tati, Jour de Fête tells the story of an inept French postman who gets frequently distracted and who goes to hilarious lengths to speed his mail deliveries on his bicycle. The movie was originally filmed in colour, but the only company who could print it went bust, so it wasn't until 1995 that Tati's daughter restored the picture to all of its former glories. At 6, it's The Flying Scotsman, starring Johnny Lee Miller. The Flying Scotsman is based on the remarkable true story of Scottish cyclist Graham O'Brien. In 1993, the unemployed amateur cyclist broke the world 1-hour record on a bike of his own design, which he constructed out of scrap metal and parts of a washing machine. The film nearly didn't get made. In 2002, the death of a key American investor caused The Flying Scotsman to collapse only days before it went into production. Fortunately, they found the money. At number 5, it's E.T., which uses bicycles as an important symbol of childhood. Now, before you accuse me of being artsy-fartsy, take a good look for yourself. Director Steven Spielberg sprinkles them simply everywhere in the film to represent the freedom of movement the children have and the important moral decisions Elliot must make with E.T. Spielberg also gives us one of the most memorable images in film as Elliot and E.T. travel into the sky on a bicycle. Pass me the tissues. At 4, it's Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. What the hell does that have to do with cycling, you ask? Well, I've included this one in my list for 2 reasons. Firstly, it's the only film I can think of that introduces a bicycle as a modern invention. And secondly, it's the only Western I can think of that has a musical montage on a bicycle. Only in America could a character called Butch prattle around with a girl on a bike to the tune of Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. Irony!
They keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me.
In at 3 is the Chinese film Beijing Bicycle. Appropriate or what? Originally banned in its home country, the film tells the moving story of a 17-year-old country boy who comes to Beijing for a job. He gets employment with a courier company, but disaster strikes when his company bicycle is stolen and he does everything in his powers to find it. A charming coming-of-age story, this film is a must-see for an intriguing insight into Chinese status. At 2, it's The Bicycle Thief, a 1948 film directed by Vittorio De Sica. It's the story of a poor man who searches the streets of Rome for his stolen bicycle, which he must get back in order to work. The film is frequently on critics and directors' lists of the best films ever made. It was given an Academy Honorary Award in 1950, and just 4 years after its release was deemed the greatest film of all time by the magazine Sight and Sound. And now it's time for our winner, the fantastic French film Belleville Rendezvous. It tells the story of orphan Champion, who's raised by his grandmother, Madame Souza. After years of relentless cycling training, Champion makes it to the Tour de France, where he's mysteriously kidnapped, and it's up to his grandmother and her fat dog Bruno to track him down and save him. Boasting innovative, sensational animation, this is not just a classic, c'est magnifique. finally, it's time for Piggy Snacks. And on the menu today, I've got you cheese and onion flavoured crisps, Sainsbury's own brand if you're American. Just to let you know, Sainsbury's is a supermarket over here, and a high-class one at that. So I'm expecting good flavours, good quality, good texture. Will it deliver? Let's find out. It looks pretty standard. It's not like a kettle chip. It's not one of those deep-fried, sort of very crisp crisps, if you know what I mean. It's soft, and I'm not mad about that. I like a really, really good crunchiness on the mouth, and I also like flavour. And this crisp isn't delivering me the flavour. I'm getting a little bit of cheese and onion, but not a taste explosion. And I want that from my crisps, and as a result, I'm only going to give 3 stars.